Hey, what's going on, guys? Hopefully, you guys can see my title screen hitting the other kneecap. So, I got a little story that I'll tell about that. Sorry, just trying to readjust here. Want to make sure you guys are well aware of the pain that'll be on my face. No, but little story here about this. So this matches up very much, closely with the other um, kneecap that I did on the left hand side. So that was the all seeing eye that I did 2 nights ago. And then I worked on the coloration of the boxer uh, last night, and not really satisfied with it, but it's okay. I'll wait for a little while, come back, redo that one, and start, I guess, not fresh, but where I left off. Hopefully cleaning things up. Hey, how you doing, Lesnick? You might be interested in this one. So again, I'm doing the other kneecap, and I figured I would stick with the same theme ish. Um, Before I get started, I just want to let everyone know that yes, I do tattoo myself. I don't tattoo other people, and the purpose, right? So I say that all the time. This isn't a place to learn how to tattoo. I'm definitely not that guy. I'm learning every time that I turn the machine on and applying ink to myself. So the purpose that original purpose that I had for this was I I have recently been, uh, I guess, medically retired from the military and suffer from, various forms of. I shouldn't say various forms. I suffer from, some mental and emotional, behavioral health issues, and I'm coping, right? Like that's what this is all about. This is really back before I joined the Army, I worked in the graphic design world. Before that, and actually during that, I was an illustrator, and I illustrated for private people doing startup companies. I illustrated for the second largest bank in America. Not going to drop any names. At least it was the second largest then. I illustrated for Hot Wheels, and a little bit for some of the other Mattel, or not Mattel, Mattel and Hasbro, like both of those guys. Like I, I love doing art, and whenever I joined the military, all of my books started filling up with lists and charts and things to keep me straight at that particular job. So for the last decade, I haven't picked up a pencil, with exception to making a chart that I knew I'd have to erase. I didn't pick up a pen except to outline a chart, or a list or something along those lines. So it's all kind of, I won't say it's coming back to me, but I'm trying, and this is one of the ways that I found to be, I guess, healing to a certain degree. So I, I bought a tattoo machine and didn't know what I was buying. I bought a good one. I bought a power supply. It's a big name brand, but it conks out on me every once in a while now. Take that for what it's worth, I guess. And I didn't know I needed a foot switch, so I created my own push button by hand switch, and and wired that up myself, and decided that I would try this. I would try to do this with other people, and just kind of share the experience. One, so that I had a social outlet. Honestly, like I love it when people show up, when people chat, when questions are asked. I love all that stuff. Um, Even the occasional heckler if one shows up. I've talked to a few people that I respect in the social media realm, and told them what was going on and invited them. So, I don't know who's going to show up, when, how long, like what they're going to say, and I like that. Like that's good to me. That's a real social outlet. So I really appreciate that, guys. That's like number one. Number two, I wanted to share it because I'm a fairly at heart, I'm a fairly vulnerable person. I embarrass easily, and so this was kind of like, if you're afraid of sharks and water, get over your fear, strap on some scuba, gear, and dive on in. So it's really kind of a weird dichotomy. So I would be doing this without the camera on, and probably having a miserable time of it. But I get to do it with the camera on, and see people show up. And if no one does show up, like the only way I know anyone's here is whenever they pop in and chat. That's it. I know that there's certain programs that you can use to see how many people and all that kind of stuff, but I don't want to know unless you want me to know. So there's that. Um, so I'm saying all that because, one of the things that had popped up for me as kind of a rather large symptom, pretty early on of me having some issues, was that I occasionally, what's up, man? How you doing? I occasionally have a visual hallucination, and it happens to be one that it's repeated. I don't even know if it's the same thing, right? So it doesn't even scare me anymore. It doesn't frighten me. It doesn't make any difference, like one way or the other, except, it's almost like I don't know. I won't say it's comforting, but I expect it. And whenever I see it, I'm like, it's one of those. So, so, I did the all-seeing eye on one knee. That's for something else. I'll talk about that, maybe in the future. And I'm gonna do one of the like a cartoon version of one of the other things on the other knee. It's gonna look dark. It's gonna look a little bit, it might look a little bit creepy, maybe a little scary, but really, honestly, it's like I said, this is a cartoon version, and they're really not. They're more. It seems like they're that it's more of a curiosity thing than it is like any kind of threatening thing or anything like that. So I thought I would share that because, honestly, that's what this is supposed to have been all about from the get go. So you know, probably not a whole lot of people know that, and judging, I got Lesnick and I got Turkey Noodle in here, so you guys know it now, and that's that's okay. Uh, so I am hopefully. Oh yeah. Oh, that's long. So this is, yeah. Me too. Hopefully this isn't like something that's future telling or something like that where they pop up like this. But and I applied the stencil. It's normally the earlier you apply a stencil, and the longer you let it sit, the better it is for staying. But that's not it's not always the case. So I've done some pretty dumb things right off the bat, things that I would do in real life with uh, other subjects. Um, and what I've done is I saw a ton of paper that had the transfer stencil paper. I saw a ton of it on sale one day, and they said oh, it's got one flaw. There's a line running down the middle of it, so you could probably still work around that for smaller pieces, and you can like you can totally ignore it as long as you know the line is there. You can totally ignore it on big pieces, on larger pieces. And so I was like, okay, I paid the same amount of money for 25 sheets of it, and this was 100 sheets for the same price, and this was made specifically for this. I'm not going to say you always get what you pay for, because sometimes you can find some really good deals. I've found some excellent deals, but I feel like in the cases that I've had needles that didn't work that I bought on clearance. I've had this paper that once it's applied, well, you'll see. Like, some of my stencils look really good, and some of them end up not so much. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this guy up here just so you guys can see him. So just a reminder, I do have this on the other knee, so it's almost the same weight as far as the configuration of the cloud, same placement, just on the other knee, right? So you can kind of see what I'm talking about with the way that it's almost like it ran, like it melted a little bit, and whenever I have, like, this is what I used for my you know my my concept, right? So so there's a little sharper lines on that than what's on the actual what showed up on the actual knee. So without further ado, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some of this lovely butter that I use here. It's not real butter. It's not margarine either. I can't believe it's not real butter. Oh no. This stuff is just like again, it's like it kind of softens the skin. It catches loose ink. It makes patting down the area a little bit less wasteful as far as like wiping the template away. So yeah, yeah. So I brought this up, and this is where it's gonna get really nuts, right? So I brought this up, like, I've been having these things for a while, like probably I'd say close to a year and a half before I like talk to anybody about them besides my wife. She kind of knew what was going on, and she was very supportive in helping me deal with some of the problems, I guess, that come along with that. As far as like having some sort of breach of reality, if you will. But that sounds weird whenever I say it like that. Um, but yeah, so I talked to a professional about it, and that particular person asked me like some pretty, I thought they would be like, okay, I thought the doctor would be like, all right, you are insane, which, I mean, maybe I am, I don't know, but I know, I know I have some special things. I know that much. So, but yeah, they started asking me these questions. Doc started asking me these questions like, well, do they talk to you? No, no, they don't. Are they threatening? Like, how do you feel when you're around them? And I'm like, I feel okay. Not too big of a, they don't scare me or anything, like, I guess it's fine. And, so she said this word, oh, totally meant to not even bring gender into it. Not that it's anybody that anyone knows, but you know. Um, but yeah, she said this word, so cat's out of the bag, that caught me off guard. Like I play D&D. I'm a big, probably not the biggest nerd I know, but I definitely, there's some things I enjoy that are just for nerds, like D&D. And anyway, like, I've read some books, grew up reading about, like, fae and stuff like that, fae creatures, like, fairies and uh, leprechauns and stuff. But she said the word brownie, and if you don't know what a brownie is, it's not a. I mean, yes, it is a delicious chocolatey baked good, that's gooey inside and crunchy on the top if it's done right. Um, but it's also a Scottish, um, like a Scottish folklore kind of fairy type thing, and they're generally very helpful. So I thought it was kind of interesting that this professional, this doctor, who I'm receiving care for some ailments, that would I think would classify someone as being clinical, um, was asking me, or telling me, defining what it is that I'm seeing, not as a hallucination, right? But as this creature. It's so weird to me. And, I mean, I don't know, like it just kind of fit. So this isn't exactly what they look like, just so you know. This isn't what I see. It's close, but it's not. It's not. This isn't it, right? And that's okay. Like I'm okay with that. But they tend to be fairly small. Uh, Actually, you know what? If you play cornhole, if you were to have a cornhole bag that was like almost, completely black, I suppose, and in each corner was a limb, and it ran around and didn't really do anything bad, you would have my hallucination, which is pretty rad. It feels so weird just like talking about it though. Like that's an odd thing to. I guess that's an odd thing to bring up, but again, like that's kind of that's why I'm here. And if you look at some of the tags that I have, like so people can find my content, you'll see that uh, there's a few things on there. There's, PTSD, depression, stuff like that. So I definitely I don't expect to have that kind of crew of people show up. I can't help anybody. But I can be here to talk about that kind of stuff. So that's what I'm doing. I mean, most of the time, what I end up talking about is the size of the needle that I'm using. Yeah, yeah, it is terrifying and awesome. And the only reason, like the main reason that I knew that the damn thing wasn't real, whenever I first saw it, the first time I saw it was like, uh, we had, I won't say we just got the cat. Well, I guess we hadn't had our older cat for very long. We didn't have our new cat at all. But I knew for a fact, judging from the size, the shape, the movement, if these were real, then my cat would have killed one. Yeah, exactly. Uh, no, no, he's just going to be kind of hanging out. So I drew these lightning bolts on here too, like same, like I said, similar, not same, similar cloud formation as the other knee. Um, but I really they kind of they kind of shock me, I guess. Um, and it's like all the things that I do, all the things that the people that are walking with me through all of this, the things that they suggest I do, like all this stuff. These guys are constant. They don't go away. Like there's nothing, there's no prescription that I've had or you know, uh, or any exercise, mental exercise that I've done that has taken these guys away. They are still here. So so they shock me whenever they show up, but in a strange way, they're also kind of comforting. And cats are demons, but they're good ones, right? Like they're some of the good ones. My cat's an angel until he doesn't want to be. Then not so much. He's kind of a big old jerk hole. All right, let me get this guy before he starts fading away into the sunset. So this is a different illustrative style, even though it's the same kind of concept. as far as placement and background content as the all-seeing eye on the other knee. But this is, like I said, this is a he's kind of cartoony in this. And, I say I don't know, man. No idea. Could be a female brownie. Who knows? Could be a bunch of them. Could be that I've never seen the same one twice. I don't know. I don't know. What I do know, though, is chair keeps moving on me. Very inopportune times. Now, I have my leg propped up on a chair, and it slides. Nothing like a sliding chair whenever you're trying to do circles, right? So hopefully, like whoever has showed up hasn't left because they're like, whoa, this dude is crazy. Like, I mean, I think it's pretty crazy to pick up a tattoo machine and like the first day you have it, be like, all right, fam, here we go. We are tattooing. Oh, we're gonna get this done today. So that's crazy enough, But then, gotta get these hands just right. But then on top of it, now he's talking about seeing stuff. Oh man. And most of the time, like everything's like really chill and just kind of like weird, like like, oh, what'd you guys do today? Um, but I figured since I had a pretty powerful image on the other leg, I might as well. This one might not be like powerful, but it is to me. Yes. Oh my cat's about. Speaking of demon cats, that's about to go ham on something. You hear him like rattling around paper or plastic. Oh, there he goes. I think he's going to attack my other cat. Not cool. She's a sweetheart. And he is like the most loving cat I've ever been around, with exception to whenever he's hungry or whenever he feels like bullying my other cat. And then he's just a big old jerkle. That's okay. Still love him. Cool, man. Try his hardest to make as much rattly noise as possible. So I debated whether or not I should uh, outline this in black, since I'm going to be like, I've tried using yellow so many times, and every time it's been like horrible. But you know what? One of these days it's going to look right, and when it does, say that's awesome. And maybe today's the day, right? Today's the day, maybe. Also, I'm trying to line this in like real quick. Yeah, I mean, sometimes I get lucky and I can actually pull a line that makes sense. I feel pretty good about most of these, so I definitely feel like the depth is there, but it's my kneecap, so I feel like I might be a little bit wishful thinking on some of it. We'll find out. No surgeries on this knee, so uh, no scar tissue other than childhood bike wrecks. Which my first year in the military, I actually pulled out a small piece of gravel from my knee from a bike wreck whenever I was a kid. So this is your favorite one so far? I'm glad you like it. It definitely, it definitely has a little bit, I guess, a personal story behind it. So, I mean, a lot of them do, but this one's like, I don't know, it's a little bit different than just regular old, like, yeah, the skull represents whatever. Skull represents, skull stuff, whatever skulls represent these days. Whatever the cool kids are saying skulls are. Not death, bro. It's rebirth. Something. I don't. You know. You know how kids are. Now this is a tender bit. Oh. Oh yes. Well, that's on a bendy part. Oh, and then it goes. Oh man. Oh. Whew. Pulling that line was rough. I think the brownie would be forever anyway. But I'm kind of getting to a point like I don't know. I've had a lot of support, like crazy amount of support from my family, especially my wife. Like, whenever I told her about it, I expected her to just be like, "Okay, bro, like you need help that I cannot provide you." And she was so supportive. She's like, "Tell you what, next time you see one, stop and ask me if I see it. Maybe it's a real thing." I'm like, "Okay, no way," but I did, and it wasn't. But it's just like that's a crazy amount of support. So I don't think this is I don't think they're going anywhere. Hell, it might be like that I won't say the hill that I die on whenever I'm you know old, but like that might be my first brush with senility, being senile. I like it. I just I'll put that on my for one of my tattoos. Oh, speaking of, yeah, she really is. She really is. Don't tell her that though. Like she'll get the big head. She expect like you know cool presents. Be like, hey, I am the perfect spouse. I'm the best. No, I'm the best, but I'm not because I see things, and sometimes ooh, that went deeper than I thought. Ha ha, that was fun. I'm so scared. I'm so scared whenever whenever I get this like outlined and then I dump the water on it, like I'm waiting for the big surprise, like how much actually stayed in the skin. As long as most of it did, I'll be okay. One of the other things that I really like about this particular part of the process is that this is like the most difficult thing to do. Is to have like um, a really good start to a tattoo. Like the outline, and I know a lot of people like the big thick lines, but man, There's just something to be said about these little tiny, intricate lines. Like I love it. Can't really see too well, so hoping. Is that a bleed? Yeah. Whew. So glad that's a straight line because I couldn't see it at all. Sorry if this goes off camera a little bit. I do need to try to make this as straight as possible. Oh, and then the chair moves. That's I don't know. Maybe there's got to be something out there to like make this thing stay still. I drew an extra line. It's okay. Cool thing about black outline, just add more black. Okay. All right. Stretch this a little bit. Gosh, I got ugly quick. I got all the way through that without any issue until I got to this one part of the lightning bolt. But it's okay. Fine. Mistakes will be made. And that's okay. Look back up. I was reading this one last time, right? This part is when you go over a line and then you look and lo and behold, the ink is not there. All right. Let's give it a wash. Let's see what we got, y'all. What's going on, James? Go. How you doing, man? James Kill. See what actually stayed. What stayed and what do we have to go over again? Hopefully not those lightning bolts, man. That got a little ugly there towards the bottom. But, whenever the legs straighten out, it's actually straight. So I'll keep it. I will keep it. All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to apply some of this butter that's trying to escape. I'm going to bend my knee a little bit. I'm going to apply this. I'm going to let it sit for a minute. See how you guys are doing in chat. What's going on? And then I'm going to come back at this. I'm going to attack full force some of this stuff. Yes, little hands stayed. Creepy little hands, love it. Oh yeah. So I knew baseball was on the table. I knew soccer was on the table. That's a lot. All right, let's let that rest for a second. Yeah, so I know there's a bit of lag. So chatting with you guys is kind of difficult in real time, but yeah. So yeah, pretty happy with that. I think that's a good start. Camera will focus. Sometimes it needs coaxing, but yeah. Thanks, man. Gonna try. I'm still gonna do this. The way that I did the clouds on here. So it actually, like, now that the redness is starting to go away, it's still there, but I was a little bit worried too. Like, you can see the yellow in the top here. And I stopped because there was blood coming through, and I don't really want to, like, uh, I don't I don't want any scabbing if possible. Baseball, swimming, ice skating, starting hockey next year. Wow. Yeah, lacrosse would be a good. I mean, if you can't get them into rugby, I think lacrosse is it's like it's kind of like rugby. I mean, the hard part will be getting them to not hit people with sticks. Well, now that I'm taking a little break, speaking of so many things in the tattoo realm, somebody a couple of days ago, I think it was a couple, no, it might have been yesterday, said something like, "Yeah, he'll do great." Um, Somebody said something about, well, I talked about, like, why God didn't put me in charge of a lot of things. One of the things that I would change immediately is every time you bite into a piece of fruit, it screams. Now, I don't think I'm the only person that believes that that would be a big benefit in this world to have screaming fruit. I mean, just think about it. Like, you're an apex predator. We're on the top of the food chain. We can't go out and just bite into an animal. They're diseases, right? But fruit, we can bite into fruit all day long. Maybe, some deep urge down inside, like, caveman lizard brain says, whenever you bite into something, it should scream, at least for me. So I said something about that. And one of the people in chat at some point said, "Well, I want to see a screaming strawberry." So I drew one, and took a picture of it, and I showed it to my wife, and she said, um, "That is, you really captured, like, the intensity there. It's kind of scary." I know, caveman lizard brain is like, it's the go-to when things get tough. Like, I'm sorry, like, your academics aren't going to help you the same way that caveman lizard brain will. It's true. And it craves screaming fruit. All right. So I did this strawberry, and, like I said, I sent a picture of it to my wife, and I'm pretty sure I couldn't see her face because, I was somewhere else. But judging from what she said, I don't know if she was disgusted or, or just frightened that, like, maybe I came up with that idea like the way that I did, or what. So here you go. Focus up, focus up. It's not gonna. Yes, it's true. So I sent that to her, and she's like, "Oh, I did not. That's not what I expected to see whenever you said you were going to draw this." And so I went ahead and I drew that one. So, so I don't know. She said maybe no. My son said maybe I should just start, like, drawing other fruit screaming. Um, so so I do have, like, I like drawing these little there, kind of straighten out there. Yeah, you can kind of see, like, I put in some shadow. I put in some highlights. Right, like, he's a scary guy. But I draw these little, like, I like these little cute ones, these little chibi looking things. Yeah, he does. He does. Well, he doesn't have a nose. I know. That helps with the Voldemort vibes, I guess. Let me see. So my daughter, she always asks for weird things. Draw me a cute frog. Drew a cute frog. Um, he didn't start off so cute. Like, he was going to look like a crazy businessman frog, but I stopped before I got too far with that because I'm not trying to scare the children. But, I've got all these little spaces in between all between my tattoos and everything. And then I got my cute Thulu, but just kind of sprinkled throughout, like with all these, these empty spaces. I started drawing like, I got a little tiny sunshine and thundercloud, like thinking, maybe that can go in between something. Got a little, little finger that's like shooting off its finger, pushing a button. Um, little dude with a balloon. Like he would look cool if he was, floating up. That's pretty rad, right? Um, but then I got like, this is one of my favorites. If it would focus, you could see Hot Dog Man. He's big, smiling, well, tiny, smiling hot dog, and little cupcake, right? Like, I got a couple little cute things in there. I got this teddy bear with its head ripped off. No, teddy bear, head ripped off, whatever. Yeah, so there's a couple of little tiny cute things that I can throw on in there. So basically, I guess if whoever asked for that wants that, I could take a picture of the work, kind of print it out, and get a stencil ready for you, and you just let me know like the best way of getting it to you, and because I am not like, it was cool to hear decapitated Teddy. It's the best kind. It was a little dark tonight. Um, but what was I saying? Oh yeah, there's no way in hell I'm tattooing that on me. Like maybe the small one, but that's just, I mean, that's like scary flash art kind of stuff. Like I would see that like on a big burly biker, like right above the thumb or something like that. Like just something like he hurt somebody and he wants everyone to know. So I mean, if you're cool with it and you want it, like just let me know, contact me, tell me the best way to get it to you, and I will get you the stencil. You can take it in to wherever you want and tell them like, hey, this is the stencil for it, and they'll say, I'm not going to tattoo that on you, and then you are just out of luck. So cool story that didn't happen, just right there. So all right, whew. Let's go ahead and see about getting back to this guy. All right. What do I want to do first? I'm probably going to fill this guy in with black because I think that's going to be the least painful part. So I might as well go ahead and knock that out. And then this whole area, everything electrified looking, is going to be yellow, and I know that's going to hurt like hell. And then I have to work in, some darker, maybe a little bit darker on the clouds. Screaming banana. Oh, yeah. Yeah. The thing is like, phallic fruit is also kind of weird to tattoo on yourself. Like I'm a law abiding citizen and I try really hard to abide by all laws because I don't want to go to prison. But just in case I do go to prison, I don't want phallic fruit on me at all. That's, no. It's like the exact opposite. I've seen like some tattoos that inmates have where they have like a beautiful woman tattooed on their back. I don't think that that's right. I don't know how long you're planning on spending in prison, but sexy cucumber. I do I do have a picture on my phone. I saved it because it was the most ridiculous looking thing. I hate to do this, like but I'm gonna have to. I have to show you because I brought it up. Um, yeah, my wife doesn't even know this is on my phone. She's going to be like, "What the hell? Why do you have that on there?" But in all honesty, it's because I've never seen anything. I've never seen anything close to as disturbing as this. So, and I thought I had to keep it. Of course, as soon as you're like, "Oh, let me show you something on my phone," it's never where you thought it was. Da, 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 da. I gotta be getting close. I gotta be getting close because yeah, here we are. Sorry, guys. This is most disturbing thing. So that's a hot dog, sexy hot dog in a bun. I mean, sexy hot dog in a bun. It's like she's like, anyway. I'm just can't I can't tell you. I can't tell you like I don't think I like there's nothing disturbing on my phone except for that. Well, I mean, that's not true. I I'll show it to you in person. You can see all the details. I just like that I don't know I don't know who draws it. Like I didn't come up with that, you know? Like I'm not the crazy one. I'm not the crazy one. They're the crazy one. All right, so I am using. Why am I using this? Probably so I can get in all the small bits. Crap. I laid out all my needles like I knew what I was going to be doing today. I don't. I never know. I never know what I'm doing. I pretend. Hey guys, got all these needles. I'm gonna make. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it your phone's wallpaper, and then set a password. You can't change it. Let's see how far this is sticking out. Oh, my machine's doing the lovely thing it likes to do. All right, man. Well, hey, you can always catch me, and I'll send you a picture or something. I do post these things on Instagram too. I think you've seen them. So um, whenever I get it somewhere worth seeing, I'll let you know. But yeah, man. See you later. Thanks for stopping by. Miss you, bro. All right. Let's see. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. All right. Let's try this again. And I'm going to try to turn this down just a little bit. Look how skinny my arms got. Crap, I wish my stomach would do that. Jane? Jane? I mean, okay. So mean to my friends. This is going to hurt. It's so tiny. And because it's so tiny, because of what I'm doing with it, I know it's going to be kind of splotchy, pissed off. But once I get these little sticky outy kind of parts done, then I'll get a much larger needle or set of needles, more suitable cartridge to push this ink into the skin. So, I mean, I don't know what the future holds for this old guy, but I was looking at I'm curious sometimes. I pick up a little regulation book on what it is that you need to do to get your licensure for tattooing and stuff like that. And I said I was going to do the black first, and look at me, I'm doing the yellow. Because why? Why not? Anyway, um, I had all these cool ideas at some point, like, oh yeah, I'll just I can do it out of my house. First, I was like, oh, I can do it out of my bus. My bus is in shambles. I need to find a way to clean the gas tank. But it's beside the point. Um, why is it doing that? I lose so much ink. Oh well, I guess I'll just put up with the spatters. Um, yeah, I found out that can't can't tattoo in your house no matter what in the state of Georgia. I'm not sure South Carolina, but I don't live in South Carolina, so it doesn't really matter. Oh, shoot. Ooh, that hurts. I hope ink is getting in there because it sure feels like needles are. Oh my gosh. You guys seen this thing? Look at that. Look how far out that thing is. I'm just push that on in there. And I've got the amperage down or the voltage down really low. So that's what you're supposed to do whenever you're pushing in large amounts of color or shadow, whatever. But yeah. Anyway, tattoo regulations. But I found out that South Carolina is generally like the Wild West, like like pretty much like the outlaws and everything. Like we don't care what you do. Come to South Carolina, murder people for free. It's like what? You kidding me? Oh, that's just North Augusta. Um, but yeah, like I found out that it was like 2004, 2005. They had a 40-year ban on tattooing. It said 40-year ban on tattoos. I don't know what that means. Like I need someone to explain how you can like do you check people to see if they have tattoos? But anyway, I was just shocked because like normally they don't care what you do. South Carolina, you want to buy fireworks that can blow up the Empire State Building? Come on down, we got them half price. What? Weird, South Carolina. Dad here, Dad. Actually, now that the stencil is, I don't need it anymore. I can actually use a cold, wet, damp, whatever cloth to just kind of wipe this stuff away. See, it doesn't work so well, but I tell you, yeah, I know. What do you? How do you mean you outlaw tattoos? It just doesn't make any sense. Like it's crazy to me. But you know, whatever. Everybody's got to have a hill to die on, I suppose. All right, I'm gonna lift this up a little bit. They do. That's true. It's true. And when their palm trees die, they just paint them like they're alive. Sorry, I know I keep saying things, like not PG. As long as I don't drop the F bomb, I think I can be PG-13 at least. Not smoking on screen. I'm not dropping the F bomb. And I'm not showing pictures of my junk. What's Ohio? What do you mean? This thing's weird. I've just decided like all of a sudden this is odd. But I need all these sharp little details with this size brush. I mean, I guess you could call it a brush. It's a metal brush. I want to get all the sharp little edges in there. Oh yeah, that's right. I know what you're saying. Okay, all right, I got you. I got you. I understand now. Ooh, ooh. Jungle James. No, this is like super. This is like meditative for me, but I can't imagine watching someone meditate, so I apologize. Just trying to get to the part where I can pull out the larger needle. Although I think I probably could have in that area. Though I might be reworking it. Ah, man. I should just learn my lesson. Stop doing stuff that you have to rework. But I had to get in that point. Make sure that. Let's say. Let's pause on that for a second and wipe this up a bit. Clean rag here. Aw. The yellow stuck. Ish. I think we could stick more yellow on it. Yeah. All right. But first, oh, you've got to be kidding me. What is with this thing? I'm in a rolly chair, and the other chair slides. This was designed to roll. The other chair was not designed to slide. Of course, it was also not designed. Ooh, ooh. Boy, that's a tender bit. Oh man, whose idea was this? This is terrible. This is like the worst. You know, it's bad whenever like I'm like, okay, I'll draw a straight line just to ease up on the pain of doing these small concentric circles. Oh man, feel it like I can feel the machine like vibrating all the tendons. I'm not hitting any of them, you know, but pretty sure I would be on the floor crying in pain if I was. But you know, I want to think like can't even compare like what it feels like in my hand. And yeah, yeah, not yet. Give me time. Give me time. The night's not over. There's still probably some anti miracle that I can perform where I do wash off all the yellow. I'd love for it to be as bright as like, you know, what I do see like the professionals do. They just somehow they could sink the stuff in and just stays so vibrant. Like meanwhile I do not stay vibrant. Okay. Just touch it up. I'm scared to turn this off because I know I'm gonna have to turn off the whole machine, the whole power supply. Just gonna just to get a little of that cool down action instead of just using a paper towel. Hopefully that helps me wipe away a little bit more. This stuff stings a little bit more, but because it's like a disinfectant like soap, um, so it does have some alcohol in it. But I think this works better than just cold water. So I mean, the yellow on there is kind of bruisey. This is, you know, it's red in there right now from yellow in my blood equal uh, orange. But kind of see like there's like a line. Can't really tell. Like right on the other side of the black line where my finger is, there's like a spot right there that's hasn't been hit. And then I want to go back over this one on the other side of that line close to where my finger is. I like to hit that one more time. These up here actually aren't too bad. And I think I can probably use the same technique um, in the area closer to my brownie's head there to apply some more yellow. So yeah. And just for the record, I don't know if anybody, you know, I liked showing off my last. This, again, this is my new toy, and I am loving it. Like it. Everyone told me, you know, like the direct drive that I was using before, you know, like that thing was super punchy, completely unforgiving. This thing is so much more punchy, but there is like a little give to it. Like I can feel, I can hear it. I can hear the strain, not the strain, but like whenever you kind of dig down into the skin and you can actually tell like where you're supposed to be at. And I think, yeah, that's pretty cool. Um, I'm going to throw out a shameless plug. Uh, if anybody is watching this from the just chatting kind of line of things, like, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Uh, if it's not too much trouble and you like it here and you like what you see, you like what you're hearing, please go ahead and hit that follow. I'm here uh, currently 4 nights out of the week, loving life and sinking ink into myself as much as I possibly can. There's nights that my wife is like, "Hey, you're not tattooing tonight, are you?" Oh, no. But I like doing it so much. Like, I'll say it's addictive. It's addictive though. Yeah, I won't say it's addictive, but it is. It is. It totally is. So trying to get a good stretch on the knee is like ridiculous, especially in like these weird spots, and getting the right light because I have to put my hand right in front of the light. And it's kind of like drinking beer. Like it's kind of like drinking bad beer. Once you've had one or two, like it doesn't even hurt anymore. That area that I just went over, completely imperfect. I didn't feel a thing because I think all my nerves did that thing that like soldiers do in all the movies, like whenever they get shot and somebody's working on them, and then they just pass out from the pain. That's what my nerves did. They just passed out from the pain. Not all of them. Some of these are pretty stubborn nerves. They don't get the message that it would be so much easier if they would just stop hurting. Don't get that at all. Like somebody just went in and woke all of these up. They're not happy nerves. Wait till I start scraping in those shadows on the clouds. Look all kinds of messed up. Like, they look so red whenever you first do them. It's like, oh man, what did I do? But after it heals up, like, especially like the one that I did a couple of days ago, it is not healed at all. Like, but some of the swelling has gone down, the inflammation, and that has made a huge difference on the color. Keep getting out of the way here. Sorry about that. And that feels so weird. Like just feeling every part of my kneecap just bounce around right now. Bizarre. I suggest it. I think if you don't have a knee tattoo, you just don't know. You don't know what fun is. Just missing out. It could be worse. What about those people that get like eyeball tattoos? I don't even understand. I don't. That's one thing I don't get. Like I had a corrective surgery done on my eyes, and I was awake for it. Um, yeah, I can't imagine. Can't imagine getting tattooed in the eyeball. Corrective surgery did not even involve a knife. Like it was. It did involve like something that was looked like an electric toothbrush though. I had PRK. I don't know what that stands for, but I know it does not stand for LASIK. So I'm just going over some of the yellow. Uh, like I do have areas that I know that I haven't touched yet, but I see some of these little spark areas around the top of his head. It's they're just a little bit weak played in there, and a lot of that could be, again, it's the swelling, could be the redness around it, like whatever. But if I have a chance to pack more color in without it taking up too much time or hurting me too much, yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna pack as much color as we possibly can while we have it loaded up and while we're working in those areas. This makes sense. Let's see how much we missed. Hate turning it on. All right. Too bad. Not too shabby, even if I do say so myself. Let me look close. Um, I think I covered it pretty well. Thank you. I've been working really hard on getting the blood part done right. Um, just to make sure that whenever I say that it's irritated, people can see it. They can be like, "Oh yeah, that's what irritation looks like. I've seen irritation before, and that's it, like 100%." Oh my gosh, I think I actually got a vibrant yellow. What the heck? Ah, take a little break for a second. Drink to that. Juice, grape juice. It's grape juice. And that put me on top of the world, especially like with this guy, so many failures that I had with him. Like, yeah, I did him yesterday. Look at me just poking around. No, he's still, man, he's still irritated. He's still a little bit on the agitated side on that one. All right, let's see what we got here. So, still have some stubbornness with a little bit of the template down here. It's trying to look like it's, where I tattooed. I did not tattoo that. Okay. Okay. Well, I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. He's got to look a little bit. He's got to look a little bit intimidating. Keep trying to point this up. Not intimidating, but like sometimes you see stuff and you're like, what? That's what happened here. Cleaning this thing out real quick. Get all the yellow out. So we're about to go, about to douse this dude in straight black. So, guys, again, I'm so glad that y'all are here. Like, sometimes last night I felt pretty disheartened about what was going on. I had plans. I made all these plans. I had everything organized out, and like I was like, I'm gonna have to stop. I'm just gonna have to stop. Like I feel bad. Like I'm about to end the stream and say goodnight to everybody. And I haven't, like nothing about this looks good. Like that's where I was last night. But it's nights like this where I can share like, look, I laid down solid color. uh, I'm sure for somebody, like that would be such a small win, but I think that's like the first time that I've been able to lay down solid color. So I'm really glad that I had you guys here to experience that with. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Just yeah, there we go. Well, at least I know how to turn the thing off and on. It's not even that big of a deal anymore. The only thing I don't like is I don't like the power surge on the new motor. So, all right, solid black. Here we go. I use the same small needle. I think it worked out pretty well for the yellow. So, and I know I'm gonna have to go back and revisit some of it because it's black, as you can see, like it just kind of pours out. So I'm gonna have to go over some of it again. It's okay. I've got a plan. I'm actually going to dab that away real quick. I guess I'm gonna wipe it away. Seems to be the only way to really get in there. Whenever I say that, what I mean is I'm going to stick my big arm in front of the camera. This guy's like the most important part, right? So I really don't want a patchy looking uh, brownie here. Like I want him in his full force, full force brownie. He's rad. So the reason it's pulling up like this is actually because I'm having to. If I turn off the machine, like I can't guarantee it'll turn back on. And it's like right whenever I learned that the best way to fill the ink in a tattoo cartridge is to turn it off, dip it, and then turn it back on. But if I turn it off, like I don't know if it's going to turn back on or not. I really am putting this new pen like through its paces though. I've done I think I've done just about every fine line and large color kind of kind of thing that you can do with these smaller pieces that I've designed. Yeah, I'm super stoked about this one. I'm glad that it's like featured opposite of the other name. Like, I mean, that's what knees do. Like, they are the opposite of the other name. But you know what I mean. Like, how exciting is that? This is okay. So, you guys could probably see this pretty good. I can actually get into the camera. All right. So, because of the raised skin, where it welts up on the lining, right going right down here. Focus, maybe. Well, even unfocused, you can barely see it. There's like a line that is not. It's just not taking color, and it's because it's like welted up. Like all the places where there's welting, it's extremely difficult to just get on in there and just get it done. It's like the closer you can get to a straight up and down, the better as well. Um, this does have, several needles in the grouping. So instead of, if you're up and down, then all of those needles are making contact. But if you're going at the side, you're either, if you're going at the side where all the needles are able to, he's not really falling, he's more like floating. He's he's controlling that lightning, you know. He's part of that. He's the deal. You're, sometimes you're in control. Sometimes something scares the shit out of you, and you just gotta put it on your skin. They don't. I mean, they don't really. Whenever they move really fast, that kind of scary. But that's only happened a couple of times. Mostly, actually, the two times that it did happen was whenever I was sent in for testing uh, to see if there's anything, physically wrong with my brain, and maybe that's why I was seeing these things. Well, maybe some part of my brain thought I was, oh, I'm going to get rid of these things, and they did not appreciate that. I don't think so. Um, that sounds so weird, but that's how I felt about it anyway. That's my hypothesis. Slow down, keep moving too fast. I'm trying to speed up again, but I need to like consciously just slow down. I heard this joke today. I'm not here to tell jokes, but this one was pretty good. Um, it goes like this. Um, I'm not saying I'm attractive, but when I go in the shower get turned on. That I'm not very good at telling jokes either. I knew you'd get it, man. If anybody anybody here got that joke, it would be you. You get those quick-witted dad jokes, though. Let's see how much is left. Whenever I do the washy wash. Oh my gosh, it all just. I love this because like the cleanest part of my whole floor is like right underneath my chair because I just disinfect it all the time. Oh, so close, so close. Missed a few spots though. Comes a little bit more visible. You can kind of see the light areas around the eyes where I was trying real hard not to get inside the area that I like outlined and drawn out. Like I didn't want to get in there and like close the eyes. Like I want them big and bright, open. You know. Oh man, I wish I had something to lay my knee on. Oh, there we go. How's that? I'm a disabled vet. Damn it! It hurts. It hurts to be in any one position for any length of time. This is this is not what I wanted to do. Here we go. I know if Turkey Noodle wasn't playing video games right now, and that like this was and on a like a second screen, he'd be in here just owning everybody with the dad jokes. Trust me, nobody has more dad jokes. And I don't get it because I'm not a dad and he's not old. Look at that. Oh, that's no good. Just threw one of my cartridges on the ground. Hopefully, I don't need that again. Or something. Met your cat. Doesn't need a dad. She doesn't need like. She needs therapy, bro. I don't know what's wrong with the cat. I think she's a wonderful cat. Like to me, she is the cattiest kind of cat around, and that makes her great. But, but that being said, she is also insane. All right, look at that! Oh my gosh, he looks good. He looks good. Um, I'm sure there's going to be some splotchiness in here. I'm sure there's going to be some lines that if I can kind of see some that I need to like touch up even more. Um, make sure that they're nice and filled in. But given where I'm at right now with this, it's not that bad. And it's kind of hard to tell how fresh it is. Some of the areas in this lighting, and the placement that I'm in, and the placement that it's in. You know, what is my poor tortured skin, and what is a blank spot that needs to be filled in. A little vacation home, if you will. Thank you. Thank you. I wanted to, I definitely didn't want to insult them. Uh, I know that they're, I mean, what if they, oh man, this is how crazy I am. Here we go. What if they are real? Um, definitely don't want them to look at this and be like, what the shit is that? Not to date. And then like everything goes to shit. Okie dokie. Give a little washy wash. No ink ran out. Take it. Sounds good. And see. I think the next thing that I'm going to do is we're going to lay in some of the storm cloud parts. This is going to be uncomfortable. I don't have the same needle grouping that I had the last time for the storm clouds, so they might end up looking a little bit different. That said, it was really weird trying to get like the right angle of both cameras for this. So sorry, y'all don't need to be seeing up there. But I'll put these legs down for a second. I did find something that was pretty close to the last needle grouping. So this is my last good uh, good needle size for this kind of thing. And if this one ends up a little bit darker, that's good. It's a storm cloud, so I want it to kind of match in composition and size and everything to the other knee, but at the same time, like I don't mind like if there's a little bit of play there. Not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. I can easily. It's going to fade. I will end up touching up some parts and making them purposefully more dark than the other kind of cloudy knee. That right? Like there's a lot of light there, and I do have some plans for coloration on this too. Like at first, like I was a little bit upset that I couldn't, like I couldn't get this full, but I think the triangle still shows up in there. So I'm thinking I might leave that, and then like where this one's all stormy and everything, I'm thinking behind the cloud, I'll do like rays of like sunshine or something, kind of fading off into nothing. I don't know, just an idea, just throwing that out. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Maybe I'm going to be that talented one day. Maybe I won't. So, all right. Whew, whew. So let me do this. I don't know if that helps with the glare at all. I know this camera is like, here, let me help you brighten everything up. Oh, thanks, camera. You're the best. But in all actuality, you could just stop and let people see what it is that they're seeing. All right. So it will be a little bit tricky for me to get to these lower parts down here. Um, hopefully not too bad. Essentially, I'm not looking for a whole lot of white space. So, I will be like, I'm going to go in with some lighter wash, it's just a black and water mix, and just kind of carve out a couple shapes. I shouldn't say carve out because I mean this thing. You turn that thing sideways while it's running, and that's pretty much what you got. Is you could just carve out some skin if you wanted to. So I shouldn't say carve out. Like I'm going to try to implement the little bit of the lighter areas where the cloud can be kind of like an outline, and then go in with a little bit of a darker wash and kind of fix that up a little bit. So there shouldn't be, besides the eyes, there hopefully won't be a whole lot of white space on this guy. Oh, dang it. Okay. This is entirely too far for my skin. Like that's, I don't know if you can really look at that. That's, I would die. I would die. Let's like, I'm going to back that up like so much that I'm basically going to be quote unquote riding the tube on this. So that I don't have like, I can't put that much needle in my body. Of course, I also didn't think this through very much because I closed my reference. Okay. I didn't think this through too much because the top hats that I'm using are extra. They're the smallest ones. I'm like, oh, I don't really need that much. Yes, I do. And this is a huge, huge, huge needle in a tiny. It's a huge needle in a teeny tiny little top hat. See you later, Lesnick. Have a good one. I'll make sure that if you follow me on any other social media aspects, like I'll be there. Um, hopefully with some proud new pictures of fun brownie times. Yeah. Yep. Good stuff right here. Scrape it in. Definitely making a lot more of the that cloudiness going on than any other one. So it will be a lot darker, that's for sure. That's cool. Like that's going for. I love using these curved mags too, because like they give you like this it's really awesome like ability to kind of go like turn it on its side a little bit and you know use that softness like of just a few needles, right? Like, say softness like this thing's a razor blade or a steak knife. So it's a motorized steak knife, but it is rather gentle. Like my son's in the other room griping that I'm still streaming. He's totally free to do like whatever he wants, but using me as an excuse not to go to bed. Oh, just stream. Stop every once in a while for a sip of grape juice, man. Come on. Yeah, totally. Oh yeah. I might not be able to do like galaxies and watercolor and stuff like that, but bro, I love killing storm clouds. Like that's. I think I'm gonna actually move up a little bit to as far as like this darkness. Hit some of these areas inside the areas that I'm moving really quick. This is not super high voltage. It's not what I line with, but it's also not what I pack color with either. And I'm moving really quick through these areas because I'm hitting them pretty hard as far as depth is concerned, but I'm also trying to move pretty quick so I'm not like I'm not laying down like thick black in areas where I don't really want it to be like that. Sense should make sense. Makes sense to me, and you know that's okay, I guess. This area over here, I wouldn't mind it being a little bit darker, so I'm just gonna go in. All right, see what we got. Too much shit. Anyone need some clouds? I got clouds. I got clouds all day. He's seen clouds. She's seen the clouds of that cloud. Like people that vape or something. Uh-oh. Well, you know, I can do this, but uh, let me tell you, I'm not the most, definitely not the most gentle. I mean, I'm willing to tear my own leg up. Fine with pain. Sweet, sweet. So I'm still looking at designing out a one of those biblically correct angels. You know what I'm talking about? Like the wheels. I'd love to put one of those somewhere. Um, give it the attention it deserves. Those things are dope. All right, so I'm like almost done with this guy for the night. If there's something that I need to touch up or something, like I'm pretty proud of this one. I'm gonna hit the bottom of this cloud with a little bit of this darker wash, like I was with the other ones. Um, and then I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but I kind of did like a little dynamic, like movement from the tops of the clouds where the these lightning, these little lightning electric shock things looking things are. I put around the brownie. Into that space, make it look a little bit more. I don't know, dynamic's the right word or not, but Sure, why not? I want to use it. I guess it is the right word. All right, final wash. See what we got. Yeah, please do, man. Like, I'm definitely like, I'm running into stuff like all the time where I'm like, oh man, this turned out great. Or like, this is going to turn out great. And then I'm like, what? No, that was horrible. It was a horrible idea. And I shouldn't have done that. That was just bad. All right. Let's put them together. What do we got? We got some coolness. I like it. I'm gonna let that stay for the evening. Oh, thanks. I actually, I don't know if you were. So yesterday, you said I'm a little too critical, but yesterday I saw somebody in town who posted to their Instagram like an all-seeing eye that they did on the back of someone's hand, and the eye itself was awesome. The placement was on the back of the hand, so a little bit tricky, but they did a really good job. But then, like, they did this background that was like a honeycomb background, and the pattern, the size was consistent, you know. The but their line work was like it's like it, I'm not, I shouldn't talk. Like my line work is just now getting to a point where I can, I pull a line and I'm like, oh yes, I did it. I don't know. I think my all seeing eyes, it's good enough for me. I think it'd probably be good enough for other people too. But like you said, man, like I've got years of learning to do, like and tons of experimentation. Um, it is really the only way that I'm going to be able to get comfortable behind it. But as much as I love giving myself tattoos, thank you. Yeah, good enough for government work. Couple a couple more months. But as much as I love getting the tattoos, I'm finding that I really just love plugging everything in, putting the cartridge in, laying out the inks, and just like the feeling of just doing it. Like it's the first time in a long time that something creative is has brought a bit of satisfaction. So again, thanks for everyone showing up. Thanks for participating in the chat and just hanging out and yeah, no. It probably, I'm gonna say it wouldn't be good stuff without people here to keep me company and make sure I'm laughing and smiling, or at least if I'm struggling, then I've got some other people to struggle with. So yeah, all right. So tonight is Thursday night, so there will be no stream tomorrow or Saturday or Sunday. So I will be back on Monday hopefully, and hopefully with some fresh ideas, or maybe even starting to color in uh, the skeleton, just so I have a little bit of matching fun going on there. And yeah, again, thanks for showing up, everybody. Um, Ignore the tomorrow at about 8:30 p.m. Let's pretend that tomorrow spells Monday. All right, and one last look at that in that camera. One last look at his beautiful face. And yeah, man, thank you. Good job. Good job. Bye, guys.